Whenever you're ready.
Okay, my name is Justin Ching and this is my PoL. My superhero I chose for this is an analyzer, and what he does is he analyzes enemies and finds weaknesses, and he never finds no weaknesses with his enemies, and he never gives up. The skills I acquired this semester were real life skills, collaboration, critical thinking, talking on film, and time management. Real life skills. I learned cooking, and cooking is a big thing in real life because you need cooking because if you can't cook, you can't get food. And MPX, we had to learn how to cook too, and we had to present food to the judges. And working with people. And in MPX is basically like group projects, so we had to work with people a lot, and we had to work with people the whole year. And that's important in real life because you have to work with your coworkers, and that's basically all the jobs out there. I also learned harvesting and growing, and that's important because, well, if you're like a farmer, you would want to know when to harvest or how to grow things, or if you just want to learn about plants, you know, like how to water it, how to keep it growing, and how to keep it alive. And I also learned building, and building is important in real life because learn how to make stuff yourself. And in MPX, we had to build our own hydroponic system from nothing. And the enemy I had with this was uncertainty, and I was worrying about how things were going to turn out. And and at the beginning of the year, I was worried about how MPX would work, and how all the building and the growing portion of MPX would go, and how we could keep the high intensity from the beginning of the year all the way to the end. And if you do it with not worrying about it and just trying my best. Also learned collaboration. In MPX we had a lot of collaboration because we had to work with teammates. We were split up into groups of 4, and we had to build, we had to grow, and we had to cook. And collaboration is in everything. And I also learned how to plan things out because in MPX you have to plan everything out, like what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it, and you have to plan out if someone's doing something at the same time, and you have to plan out your whole group and collaborate at the competition because in MPX we had the Iron Chef event, and we had to collaborate really well, or else we wouldn't be able to get our dish done because people have to do different things at different times, and we couldn't like mess each other up. And the enemy I had with this was trouble working with teammates, and trouble was not being able to communicate and tell people. An example of this is picking up plants, because after our first harvest, we had some days to pick it up, but we weren't communicating well, and we didn't pick up the plants. And so it was defeated with communication because we made a group chat, and we started telling everyone what we were going to get, what plants we were going to get, and when we were going to bring it in. Let's learn critical thinking. Critical thinking is a big thing in MPX because MPX is basically a bunch of projects, and MPX you had to grow and you had to build, and everything isn't perfect, so you're going to have a lot of problems with your system when you're growing, and that's where you need critical thinking. We need a lot of problem solving because we had lots of problems with our system, and we had problems with our budget, and we also learned about the system budget because we had to stay under a $200 budget, and basically the big thing was our PoL miner was $100, so that was half our budget right there, so we had to work everything in. And the enemy I had with this was laziness, and was being lazy about thinking things over and figuring things out, and taking the lazy way out. Like we had the system problem with the we had problems with the roots, and some roots were growing. Some roots we were planted at different times, and with our system, since it's static hydroponics, we would have to have 50% of the water above, 50% of the water on the roots. So 50% of the roots have to be above water, and 50% of the roots have to be underwater. But since we planted it at different times, we had different heights, and I guess we didn't think it through, and we just said and then we just filled the water up to the lastings. But later on, it was defeated by going over it and thinking things multiple times, because we also had problems with the tomato plants, and we were being lazy with pruning it because it started getting brown leaves, and we were just picking off the brown leaves. And what we didn't know, we had to cut off the whole branch because it's like a disease. So we have and talking on film. And talking on film was in the majority of the MPX projects, and it was standing in front of the camera. We're talking from the camera, like the Congo project, the Codename Berry project, and the Whiteboard project. My enemy with this was camera nervous. I was nervous being able to talk in front of the camera and not being able to talk and like messing up. And an example of this is the Congo project. I wasn't able to talk loud enough, and I had to retake multiple times over and over. And I defeated it with thinking the camera was like a different person, or like someone like my family or my friends where I can talk like normally to. So learn time management. And time management is a big thing in MPX because we had lots of time in MPX, and we had to plan things out carefully and not like procrastinate. And time management was big in the cook-off because we only had an hour to cook, and we had to have everyone doing their own things and have everyone's schedule like planned out what to do when we started the cook-off. And time management was important in projects because in MPX we had a lot of projects, but we had a lot of time with the projects, so you had to pace yourself and not do it too slow. And we have a lot, and that was in the papers too. And with this, my enemy was procrastination, and it's putting work aside. And examples of this was our Codename Berry project, and we had a lot of time for that, and it was 2 weeks. And me and Ricky kept putting off recording till like the last week, and then it rained, and you couldn't get over to my house to record, so that's where procrastination is really bad, and we had to take a late grade for that. And it was defeated with time management. Over the semester, I started getting better at managing my time better, and eventually I started getting things done on time. In conclusion is, I learned a lot of things not possible in standard school, and I also learned a lot overall, like a lot of skills I can use, and I also benefit a lot from MPX because it's learning how to work with people in real life situations. Thank you.
Any questions for Justin? Justin, what was the hardest part about picking out, your billings and your skills?
Hardest part about that was, I basically knew everything. I just had to find out the feelings because that was like the hardest part. I was like uncomfortable. Like I didn't know what feelings were. Like real life problems, I had a hard time because of the real life problems. Like it's hard to find a feeling for that. But, like because time management and the feeling is procrastination. And I've had like hard time with real life problems because there's no like obvious feeling to that.
What you said that your time management skills have improved. What are some things that you're doing differently now than you were doing at the beginning of the semester?
Not putting things aside and like pacing myself, following the steps, and like doing a bit of work every night instead of doing it all the last night.
Okay, thank you, Justin.